Hello, guys. Today I'm here with Heike Larson. And what did you do today, Heike?
Yeah, I played Digimon for 9 hours and I'm very exhausted, but I came top 10, or let me say, we both came top 10, which is amazing. Which is
Yeah?
absolutely incredible. Like, I can't actually believe we actually managed to do this together.
Yeah, man. Swedish community going strong, right?
We both topped the Grand Prix and this Evolution Cup, and I topped the regionals. So yeah, Sweden is doing very good right now.
Yeah. It's amazing to see, really, considering that we're such a smaller community than like Germany and Spain.
Yeah, Psycho came top 2 and we came top 10. Like, we have a great representation here. But today I'm going to do a deck profile to show that my top 10 winning Three Musketeers deck. I do not know at this time if it's the best Three Musketeer deck in the tier. I didn't see nearly anyone else play it, so yeah. You want to go
Yeah.
through it?
Yeah. Let's start with the eggs then.
Yeah, I play 4 Demimeras and 1 Tsunemon, and in retrospect, I don't know why I played 1 Tsunemon, because this was from an older version when I played a bunch of Soundbird Mons, and I only play 1 now, so there's actually zero reason to play this, but it had some moments where I could pull multiple cards when I controlled the game, which is fine. But the Demimera, obviously, every single deck should play these 4.
Yeah, that card's amazing.
No question about it. To draw 1, trash 1, there's always value in that. So yeah, play that.
Yeah.
Then let's go to the rookies. I play
Okay.
1 Soundbird Mon.
Could you switch? Could you turn it around?
Turn-
Or is it fixed in on your recording?
Oh, the recording, it's the right way.
All right, great.
So I play 1 Soundbird Mon. I wish I played 2 because this deck is more based around drawing cards. So this would have been better to gain a memory and mill a card from my hand. So I just play 1, and then I play two gases.
Alright.
Yeah, it came in use this time as well. And it won me the top 25 spot in the last tournament. As everybody probably knows in the server by now, that I'm a clown. So the gassy is the itself that made me the clown you all know. And yeah, playing this against Boff, it's really good. And yes, Mon,
I can attest to that. It's very strong against Buff.
did you actually meet Gassy or any other memory denier during the tournament?
In my case, actually, I was very lucky that I didn't come up too much, but I was always asked when I saw that my opponent had cards on board, do you have Gaussing on board?
Yeah, just in case. Just in case. But you played against Three Musketeers, right?
Yeah.
And you never saw Gassimon?
What?
You never saw Gassimon?
I saw it once or twice, but we'll talk about that later. Let's focus on
yeah. Then I play 2 Tapirmons.
Alright.
And I think this card is super underrated because I nearly see no list playing this. This was a suggestion by Roxian, my Beelstar in crime, that also helped me brew this deck. Because doing this combination of Demimera Tapir, attacking, draw 1, then draw 1, trash 1, that's really good, because if you have a bad hand and you don't want to throw anything, but you need to keep the game moving, this is a great combination to draw 2 cards and trashing 1. So, almost see no list play it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it seems like a very sophisticated way to fix your brick hands, which is a problem.
Labra does that as well, to draw 1 and trash 1. Really good. Came in, starting with it is probably the best position to have it in. It's really is no use later in the game, but starting the round by playing an Impmon or a Tapir and then Labra to draw 1, trash 1, that makes it so in 2 rounds you draw 5 cards. It's really good.
Sounds great.
And then 3 Imps. And I know there's a lot of people who will not agree with this.
Yeah, it's very surprising. Could you explain?
Well, I don't like Impmon that much, to be honest, because in my opinion, it makes you brick. If you start the game with like the Demimera and or the Tsunemon even worse, and you only have Impon as a rookie, you evolve on it, you draw a card, and you don't get anything that can keep the game moving, you bring it forth, you attack, and you use mill 3 cards, and all of those 3 cards will be better in hand, you bricked yourself. That happened so many times that I bricked myself.
All right.
So like it's better for end game play. Like you can like bring it out as a rookie later when you like have the Beelstar on hand or all the other pieces you need, so you can just mill more. It's a mill more card. I don't think it's good to mill in the beginning because then you just brick yourself. That's why I prefer like the Tapir and the Labra to give me cards to then I trash those cards.
You like having it more controlled. Basically.
Yes, I want to have control of what I draw and what I pull, because otherwise Impmon is just pure RNG in my opinion.
Alright, interesting.
So then I obviously play 4 Impmons BT6 because, well, do I need to explain? It takes a Beelstar from the trash, and you trash a card from your hand, which is an option card. So you must play this if you want to play 3 Musketeers.
Yeah, it's the glue that holds the deck together, right?
Yeah, especially against security control or any control deck that you just can't. Well, I just play Beelstar. Oh, it dies. I play Imp, take her up, use her again. Like, it makes you do the recycle part that a lot of decks have a very hard time dealing with.
Alright.
Then I move on to the champions, and we have Ginkaku Promote and Ogremon, my one-offs. Okay. And my pre-release Ginkaku Promote was the MVP of this deck, but I never used this in the entire tournament. This time. It's good against security control. It's really good against security control. But there was no security control at the Evolution Cup. All of my 8th round was Yesmon, Boff, or Bob. So this really didn't have a purpose in the deck. Well, it's good to evolve for 1, draw a card, so forth. But I didn't get a use of it. I couldn't end the game with it at any point in any game. But I think every deck should have one at least anyways.
It's pretty interesting that what you said, because it feels like this tournament, everyone was playing either something to counter security control or just playing buff.
Exactly. So this had no purpose because security control is out apparently. No one played it.
Yeah, because it's been so popular before, right? So everyone expected the people to counter or countered, basically.
Which makes me incredibly surprised that I actually topped as hard as I did, because the last 2 tournaments I topped because I wrecked the security controls.
Hey man, don't sell yourself short. You're also an amazing player. Probably did.
Ogremon is good. I dissed it before. I was very skeptical of it when Moltark talked about it, but in retrospect, it's a really good card.
Yeah.
It controls the board without evolving anything else or attacking or doing anything. It gets a card out of your hand, like an option card, and you destroy something. It's so good against Boff and Bob. It came up so many times, and that it's in the trash. You take it out with the sword, and yeah, it has a lot. It's a toolbox card. You need one in the deck, in my opinion.
For people that are new with the game, maybe, or don't really know the meta, 3 purple and 3 Musketeers and purple specifically has a very good, like, it's very much like Black and Magic. You use your grave as a second hand. So
yeah, exactly.
You get away with playing 1-ups very easy, because you can just take them when you need them, basically.
Exactly. So even if it gets trashed, just like the Promote, there's always a chance for me during one part of the game to use them again for their intended purpose.
Yeah.
And then, talking about that, yes, we got my Vile Boys, my MVPs. So, I've actually upgraded this. The last 2 tournaments, I played 2. Now there's 3. And there's a special reason for it. But it didn't come up at any point during this game, except the first one, which I lost. Which is very sad. But Vilemon is so good. It's so incredibly good.
Alright. And could you explain why it's so fantastically better than maybe a one-cost evolution blocker?
Because Yesmon can't pop it. And
All right.
other cards overall have a lot harder to deal with it than other, because like if it was atomic blasters, it would kill the Devimon and then something else a lot easier. So it controls the board, it blocks a lot more cards, and Yesmon can pop it. And there's one, and you can, and the reason why I played free this time is because it's so good to hit it with a nail bone and having a vial in the trash. It's detrimental to the deck, in my opinion.
And if you revive them, it's the one-cost evolution blocker is just the worst card than Vilemon.
100%. There's no reason. Like, my deck doesn't even play a tamer. I never memory control with this deck. There's no point, in my opinion.
Ooh. That's
interesting.
Yeah, interesting to hear.
Then I play 2 Mechanorimons.
Alright.
So good. You know, the first tournament, I didn't even play one. the Grand Prix, I didn't even play one Mechanorimon, I think. And I regret it so much.
I remember you not liking this card a lot in the beginning.
Yeah, but you have to have it because it stops a lot of games. If people brick and they can't evolve into bigger things, it just stops the game and then you say, okay, let's go to round 2. Like that happened during the tournament.
And you're the control deck in most matchups, so as long as you can like slow down the game progression, you will usually win at one point.
So yeah, it's also another hit for the sword, so even though it gets trashed, I can bring it up again. So, like, it's just a good card overall, and that is just specifically cost 4 is also good, because a lot of, like, Boff and Bob leave you at 3, and if they don't have a tamer, I can play the Mechanorimon, leave them at 1, it controls the game so well, because they can't deal with it at that memory.
Yeah.
And then I did another downgrade, and that's the Deputymon. I only run 3 now.
Oh, that's interesting. I see people playing 4, like, that's probably one of the most consistent things I see, together with Fieldstar, 4 Deputymon.
Yeah, and my opinion is that you don't need 4 because you don't need to have 2 or 3 in your hand.
You only want the first one.
Well, I want 2 at the most, because if they remove it and I really want to go into Gundra, it's very good to, play it. Oh, they kill it, play another. That happened during tournament. But what I realized with having 4, it's just a dead card in the hand, because in the later game, you don't want to play the Deputymon to mill your deck even more.
Yeah.
So it's better to have a Vilemon that like blocks, because I've changed the Deputymon for another Vilemon, and I think in retrospect that made a big difference, like a huge difference. And I still draw Deputymon every game because it's free, and I draw so much with these dudes.
Yeah. You draw a card, generally in every deck you will see a card a lot if you play 3, because we're Digimon, we draw cards every play basically.
Exactly, so therefore I didn't see a reason to play more than 3. It fits very well.
Alright.
And that's the champions, so let's go into the ultimates, which is 2 Rebellions.
Alright.
I only ran 1 before, then I ran 0, now I run 2, and I'm very happy about it.
Alright. What's its utility?
It stops Yesmon, and it completely stops like low level play from other decks. It gives itself blocker in retaliation, but it has one potential that I didn't realize before, and it's that it's an evolution that can go on every card, and then go into Gundra for 4. So having 2 of these is like having 5 Deputymon, because it gives every single of my purple cards an opportunity to go into Deputymon, which makes the deck more consistent, because if I only draw these and I draw 1 of these, it's like it doesn't matter if I don't have a Deputymon.
One cool thing as well is that when you evolve Gundramon over it, if you've used its effect, the Gundramon has retaliation, right?
Yes, so therefore both will have to hit into it with retaliation.
Yeah. My opponent did that against me once. It was not fun.
Yeah. And now for the big spice. This big spice itself. Skull Greymon.
Alright. Oh yeah, we love to see that.
It's very spicy, and it's because I came up with an incredible combo. That I only did it in the first round, and I didn't win. But
Oh.
in theory, it's super great. So my thought was that, okay, let's say I hypothetically have a Vilemon on board, yeah?
Yeah?
And then I like have an Ogremon. Like if there's a lot of times, or like an, you know, like a Tapir or whatever. Like I have a Digimon out on field, and I can evolve into it. So if I did this, if I have Skullgreymon on my hand and Rebelliamon, I will evolve Ogremon to Rebelliamon, pitch a card from my hand, which is Skullgreymon, and put it on the vial. That makes me have 2 blockers with retaliation. And no single meta deck can deal with that.
No, that's very hard.
And
That's actually really hard.
so if I go super aggro, and I put them like at 1, 2 securities, and I have 4 Digimons out in play, then I play that combo, and it's Yesmon, if it's Boff, and it's Bob, they can't do anything to tackle that.
Damn, that's actually pretty insane, now that you mention it. Because, yeah, I can't return both of the things.
Yeah, so no deck can deal with that in any consistent manner. So that was my idea, but it never came into play. Like, my best play with the Skullgreymon was actually that I evolved it upon Ogremon, attacked with it, pitched the option card from my hand with its effect, and made it 10,000, and it survived. And then I could evolve, like, what did I do? I think I evolved I evolved a Beelstar upon it, and then they couldn't out that card at all. Because I had 3 Beelstars on hand and I didn't have anything else. So they couldn't deal with it. That's all it did all 8 rounds. But the spice is thick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's good spice, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. I actually, the defensive play you talked about sounds really, really insane, actually.
Yeah,
Right,
but it's not consistent. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I have to make it more consistent if I want to do it.
Yeah, I think it's fine because your deck is like, once you like start going, you just want as many options as possible, right?
Yeah.
And this is an extra option. It sounds really cool.
And then I will move on to my
Big boys?
Megas, my big boys, and I have 3 Gondras, not 4.
Oh.
And it's the same thing as with the Deputymon. I always draw into it. If it goes in the trash, I can always say I'll use the Impmon. So having 4 is, in my opinion, unnecessary. Because in the later game, like I said, you don't want to evolve into either Gondra or play Deputymon because it mills too much. And you only want this card in the early game.
Yeah.
And having 4 is too much.
Yeah. Essentially, the cards like Deputymon and Gundramon and Impmon, they just break in multiples because they aren't good after a certain point, right?
Exactly, and I think actually I will take one Impmon away and like add either a Soundbirdmon or another Tapir or another Labra, because I think because a lot of cards pitch cards, therefore it's more consistent if I don't mill, but mill everything that I want in the trash.
Yeah.
Because as long as I play Deputymon and Gondra, my deck is gone. And then moving on to the big boobas herself, the upside down Beelstar, which is now the right way. And obviously you play 4, no question about it. You know.
Yep.
Do I even need to explain? Like, do I even need to explain?
Nah. You play 4 Beelstar and 3 Musketeers. That's
yeah. No Magna Kidmon though. No Magna Kidmon.
No Magna Kidmon.
No
right.
Magna Kidmon. No one plays it.
No, I noticed that as well. People have been cutting it out entirely.
But I think it has some good opportunities, because if it can stay on field, use an option card, delete the field, and do 2 checks, it can be decent. But the question is, if it's not worth having as a one-off, and it's not worth having 2 of them or 3 of them, because then it takes up the entire deck.
Yeah.
And then for the last part, we have the option cards, which is
so no level 7.
Oh no, yeah. So sure. Yeah, sure. Swords, 2 swords.
Yes.
No defeats, because I play 1 Millenniumon instead.
Alright, can you explain these?
Yeah, the sword, it brings back everything from my deck. That's down from my ultimates down to my rookies. It fills the board, and my favorite combo in the game is putting the sword on the Beelstar, attacking, deleting something, taking Beelstar up on my hand, then immediately playing her. It's such amazing combo. Like, there's no reason, no one, everyone should play 2 of these, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I play Millenniumon, which I never used the entire tournament. Not
Ooh.
once.
Not once?
Not once. Not a single time.
What was your plan with it?
Because if I play against a Black Royal Knight, with Craniamon, and they put that on the field, if they hard play Mechanorimon and Craniamon, it's finito. I can't play. It's impossible. So Millenniumon is just a one-off tech to remove Craniamon from the game, and he's also, my thought also is that he's like a big boy version of like the Promote, because he just comes back from the trash and immediately swings again. So it's super good at the against the security control, because you can hit twice and they have to remove it twice.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool trump card against other control decks, basically.
But no security control and not a single Black Royal Knights for the entire tournament. So, but it's probably a good idea to play them just in case. Like you shouldn't cut them out. No idea.
And did you not have space, or do you not like Sport Defeat at all?
I realized that Defeat is trash.
All right. Damn.
Yeah, because what's the point? Like, should I build my entire deck around the fact I hope it comes from the security? No, and every time I had it on hand, it didn't matter against like Bob or Boff, because at that, when I draw it and I can play it, they already have multiple tamers out on field, so it doesn't make a difference.
All right then.
And I think I proved it. Yeah. The best. I came top now, and I didn't play the Defeat, not one single one.
Yeah.
And now for the option cards, which are 12 cards in total. Yep. I play one Happy Bullet.
All right, that's. I've seen some people cut it out.
I don't agree with that. It has place.
It has place, yeah.
Yeah, it's good against Boff and Bob. If they hit into the security and they're the only ones out there, they die.
Yeah.
And there's multiple opportunities where you can clear like a big stack of enemies from the battlefield and not use your vault to kill your own to do it. The games where I deleted like 3 dudes with the same DP and kept my own when I had Gevalt as well made a big difference.
All right. Then.
So just having one makes a bit like if it goes into the trash, it's fine.
Yeah, it's the same as Ogremon and Ginkakumon, right? Just an extra option, not as an option card, but an extra option.
Exactly. Having an extra option in this toolbox deck isn't bad, and having one extra Trump Sword or Gevald Schwarmer makes no difference.
Yeah.
And talking about that, I play 2 Gevald Schwarmer.
All right.
And 2 Nail Bones.
Right.
Like, sometimes you really want this on hand, but most games you actually get it to your hand or in the trash. The only bad thing that there's 2, I guess, is that if one is in security, you can't do anything. You will never get it the entire game, and fields that would be easily cleared does not happen.
I mean, if they attack it, if it's in security, it goes to hand, right?
Yeah, but often when people attack, like with Boff or Bob, it's for game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then do I need to explain Nailbone? It's so good. It's so good against every deck. And then I play 3 Trump Sword.
Gotta have that Bond hate.
Yeah, Bond and Jesmon hate.
Yeah.
And then the controversial one, I guess, as well, 4 Fly Bullets.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Very heavy, but it worked out.
Yeah, I thought you would play 3 because of the same reasoning as the other cards, like, don't want to see multiples, but...
Yeah, but I want them in security.
You always wanted in security.
Always want them in security, especially against Jesmon. There's so many times, Fly Bullet, Jesmon dies, and they're like, oh!
Yeah, people all have to realize, you won't always sit the delicate plan, right? So...
Yeah. No, like, it only happened once, and it was first round. And what I realized with Trump Sword, especially this tournament, which is probably unlucky, a lot of times when people hit into security, they only had 1 Digimon out in field, and then Trump Sword does nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Trump Sword is actually very low win rate against me, and I play Bond, so...
Yeah, but those moments when it pops,
Yeah, then it's amazing.
Yeah, that's it to die for. So yeah, this is
Uh,
my deck.
yeah, wanna go through your matchups quickly?
Yeah,
Do you
sure. I played against. Let me see here in my tiny little brain. Yes. Well, I can actually check our server
Yeah,
because
we have
we have all we put everything up there. So let me check. This is actually what's really good about posting everything in the server because then we know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. First round, I met Yesmon, and I lost. And I super bricked. Like, I super bricked both turns. Like, the first round against him, I actually managed to do the Rebellion Vilemon combo with Skull Greymon, but it didn't matter. Because when I got the defensive position, I couldn't go aggro. So I couldn't do anything with all the momentum, and then he just killed me.
Yeah.
And the same thing other turn, he had everything, and he just killed me. And it was GG. Have a good one. And
So you got round 1, basically.
yeah, but then I won 7 games in a row.
Yeah, the salty run back, right?
That it was a super incredible salty run back. Like, Jesus Christ, it's the return of the century, if anything.
Right.
And, well, in the second round, I met something incredibly weird. Impale Dramon green.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was blue cards with the green touch-off with the Impale Dramon with piercing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he brought me down to 0 security. He had like 5 Digimons out on field. And then on my round, I just boom, everything gone, and I won. So he had 5 securities, I have 0, and I got into a position where I could win after that.
Yeah, I think I saw some of that match. It was crazy.
Yeah. Oh wait, maybe that was Yesmon as well. No, that was Yesmon later on actually. But I think the same thing happened to Impale Dramon. Like, it's a very strange deck.
Yeah, he played Hexablow in his, right?
Yeah, Hexablow and Impale Dramon green.
Spice.
Super spice, but yeah, I won. But I bricked both games, so it was super lucky that I actually won. Then I met an incredibly nice Scottish woman who played Bond of Friendship, but a very strange version of it. And she won 1 match, and I won 2.
Do you recall what's so special about it?
It played Vmon with jamming.
Ooh, that's old school. I know Japanese players did that in the beginning as well.
Yeah.
Like, they opted not to do it.
But yeah, it did have a play because she just kept going with it, and yeah. But I had a salty run back against her, and then I just won. Like,
Yeah.
I was very surprised she didn't get the buff out in good time. Then I met the Yesmon, and just like I said, he absolutely stomped me. Had 0 security, he got 5, and then I did the ultimate return, cleared the entire board, and then just kept adding blockers and aggro and blockers and aggro, and then just game.
Yeah.
And, well, after that, what's crazy, actually, I met 3 Bobs in a row.
Bob?
Yeah, 3 Bobs, Bond of Bravery, 3 in a row.
Damn!
And I won against every single one of them, which is crazy, because I never win against that deck. Like, never! I was so shocked. But they all bricked.
Yeah.
All bricked. And they stood no chance as I cleared their pieces and just fought my way to top 10.
And the last round was also against Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, 3 Bobs in a row, and I won every single one, 2-0.
Nice.
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 So yeah, that's my deck.
Do you have any shoutouts you want to make?
Any shoutouts? Well, I actually want to shout out the entire server, because I think that every single person I met today was super nice. Yeah. Everyone was super great, the judges were super great, everyone was super nice, there were no toxic flaming anywhere, everyone had fun, and I was no clown this time. No clowny town this time. And I'm very happy about that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, if you try to use my Skull Greymon spice. Shout me out in the comments if it went well. Probably not, but yeah, let's go with that.
Also, if you live in Sweden, don't forget to join the Swedish Discord.
Yeah, link in the description. Join today.
Or else.